Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Mark Thompson with Watermark Data and these are Alteryx tutorials. This session is going to be weekly challenge number 68. In this challenge you have an analyst working for a university and they have the courses and the course times and they want to convert the times which are currently in a military time and they want to convert that into a standard 12-hour clock so that, for example, if it read 1630, it would show 4:30. They also want to know how many minutes are in between each class. How long is the class measured in minutes? With that, let's go ahead and jump on into the challenge. To start out with, we have the data, and I'm going to pull this up here so you can see the data just a little bit better. And we've got the term and the undergrad and the start date and the day of the week. But the two we're primarily concerned with is the military begin time, military end time. So let's take, and the first thing we do is we're going to slap on a record ID here. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to filter this. And what you're seeing over here is military begin time not equal to TBA, or military end time equal TBA, or military begin time is empty, or military end time is empty. So if I look at the false column and what comes out of here, these are what we're talking about. The military begin time in TBA, or it's a null, or it's a null here. So we don't want any of these bad records to try and infiltrate our data as we're doing our conversion. One of the things I'm going to point out here is that sections that we've got, right? And organizing these sections and putting this color behind it, and you can do that by grabbing a comment, you pull it down, you expand it and size it, you tell it what color you want. And boom. All right, that's how you put the colors in there. So we can see that we've got data input and selection, data time and formatting, calculate the time in minutes, and then I tend to like to use a green for an output. So let's talk about data time formatting first. And I'm going to use a regex to do this. And I'm going to capture military begin time, and I'm going to say final two digits. Final two digits, that's what that $sign indicates, is at the end of the line. I want 2 digits. And at the beginning of the line, I can have either 1 or 2 digits. Notice here, I've got a single digit or a double digit. But at the back, the start time front and the start time back, I'm breaking it into 2 sections. 1, 2. Those are designated in regex by those open and close paren, open and close paren. And if I open this just a little bit more, you can see here's the expression revisited here from what I put in the regular expression. And so what I've done is I've broken it into a front half and a back half. And really the only thing I've done additionally is I've done it again, except for it's with the end time. Here it's the start time, here it's the end time, and I'm breaking it again so that what is that time. The next thing I'm going to do with my formatting is, if you'll notice here, the start time has got 12, 15, 17. That's military time, right? So I'm going to put in a formula here that says, hey, if the start time in front is greater than 12, take the start time front and subtract 12. Otherwise, great, go ahead and use that start time front. End time front, same thing, exact same formula. Now back over here, I'm going to point this out real quick, is the front I put into integer format. The back I put into string format, and there's a reason here. In the formula, so this way I can use these as numbers in the front half, and I can use the back half as string. So what I do here in the second two formulas is I'm telling it, okay, first thing, I'm going to take that start time front and I'm going to turn it into a string. I'm going to tell it string plus, we've got a colon, plus the start time in the back. And the last thing I do is I pad it left. I want this to be 5 characters, 2 digits in the back, a colon in the middle, and 2 digits in the front. So that if there's only a single digit, it goes ahead and throws on that 0 in front. And then at the end time, I do the exact same thing. So I've got the start time and the end time. Now they are both in the format of a standard 12-hour clock. Let's go ahead and go down here to the calculate time in minutes. I do that as a separate piece. Class length. Okay. Now I'm wanting this to be a number, so I say military end, I turn it into a number, and then I say military end time minus the start time, and I get what I label as class len, shorthand for length. And what I do is I've got this 236, except for that's not the minutes. That is breaking it into, I am really looking at the hours and the minutes. So I do the exact same thing as I did up top, and I break it into hours and minutes. Notice when I do this, and then I regex it. Regex has got effectively the same formula. I regex it into 2 hours and then into minutes. And then, of course, because hours are 60 minutes long, I multiply it by 60. And then I do a class length total that says, hey, my hours to minutes that I just multiplied by 60, add that to minutes, and I've got an integer and an integer, so I can add them together. And now I successfully am looking at class length in minutes. So if I come over here, I've got the class length in minutes. But we're not quite done. One of the last things that I want to do is make sure that I didn't capture anything with some, again, bad data. So the class len has got to be greater than 0. And so here you can see the class len is -100, -3 zeros, -50, -150. And take a look, for example, 1400, and then the military end time is 1250. This is saying it's an hour and a half, or an hour and 150, so 1 hour and 50 minutes negative. Obviously that doesn't work. Same as start and end time, doesn't work. So we want to make sure that all of our data is okay, and that's why we do this. And now we've got this, and we're going to join it. And how are we going to join it? We've got a record ID that we stuck here at the beginning. Now, we don't need every single one of the fields, right? I don't need this ET, front, back, military, days, weeks. I am only interested in what's my record ID, and I can click over here. What's my record ID? What's the term, the undergrad, the start date, days of the week? What is my start time in a standard 12-hour clock? What's my end time? How many hours, how many minutes, and class length in minutes. And that was what we were going to achieve. Hope you've enjoyed this. My name is Mark Thompson. Again, you've been listening to Watermark Data, and this is the Alteryx tutorials. If you like what you see, hit like, hit share, tell your friends, make a comment. Love to hear what you have to say. Until the next time, we'll see you again.